Algebra Lesson 4, Solving Systems of Equations by Substitution. What we're going to be doing today is taking these two equations and substituting the answer of one into the next and all the way at the end getting a coordinate. And with this type of thing, always label your equations A and then your second one B. So the first one A, second one B. And this one we need to solve for x. Always solve equation A for x. So x plus 3y equals 0. Solving it for x would mean that you bring 3y over. So minus 3y on both sides. X equals negative 3y. So now you've solved it for x. Now what we do, we have A here. We take equation B and plug this answer into there. So we have equation B is x minus 2y equals negative 10. Now, x is negative 3y, so we need to plug this into here. Negative 3y minus 2y equals negative 10. Solve this, and then we go back to A. So let's solve this. Negative 3y minus 2y is negative 5y equals negative 10. Do your division on both sides. Negative 5. Then y equals 2, because 2 negatives equals a positive. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now we take, so we did A, now B, and our last step is using A again, and then putting this into there. So x plus 3y equals 0. Put this y into here. So x plus 3, our y is 2, equals 0. Now, simplify this. X plus 6 equals 0. Subtract 6 on both sides. X equals 0 minus 6 is negative 6. So our coordinate now is this and this. What the answer is x comes first, negative 6 and 2. So if we go on to number 1 in our book, let's do that one. X minus y equals 1 and x plus y equals 5. So for this one here, this is number 1 in your book. Let's label them A and B. Go ahead and do these on a separate piece of paper as well. That way you know what you're doing. You don't always have to go back to the video. So A and B. Now let's solve A for x, which is x minus y equals 1. Solve it for x, so you have to bring over the y plus y. X equals 1 plus y. You've solved this as far as you can. Now go to B and write that out. X plus y equals 5. Plug this part into here. So 1 plus y, just that x. X equals 1 plus y equals 5. Now we have 1 plus 2y equals 5. Solve it for y, just keep simplifying, so we have to bring the 1 over to the other side. Minus 1, so we have 2y equals 5 minus 1 is 4. Divide the 2, y equals 2. Now go back to A, equation A, and then plug this into the y. We have x minus y equals 1. Y is a 2, so x minus 2 equals 1. Plus 2 plus 2, x equals 3. So our coordinate is 3 and 2. So this is what I'm expecting you to have in your book. So we'll do one more together, and then you can do the rest on your own. This is number 2. So again, label both of them A and B, and it will always be in this order, A, B, A. In the new part they say you can do B, A, B, whatever. I just like to have one specific method and always going with that. And always go with that one method instead of having 5 different ways to do the same thing. So let's start with A again. 4x minus y equals 19. Now, solve this one for x. Always solve the first one for x. Let's write that here. Solve for x. So bring this over to the other side. Minus y minus y. 4x equals 19 minus y. Now, how do we get rid of our 4? It's by dividing each part by 4. So 4 and 4 cross each other out. 4 equals 19 over 4 minus 1 over 4y. You can move this y down and just leave it as a 1, and that's the same thing. And if you have a fraction 1 over 4, it's easier to work with. So then we move on to using A and then B. Plug this part into x. So let's see if I have enough room here. B. 2x minus y equals 11. This entire part goes into here. So 2, parentheses, 19 over 4 minus 1 over 4y minus y equals 11. So 2 times 19 over 4, 4 goes into 19, 4 times, let's make this into decimals, 2 and 4.75 minus 0.25. That should make that easier. Equals 11. 2 times 4.75 is 9.5 minus, oh, I forgot my y here. 0.25 times 2 is 0.5 minus y equals 11. Now, simplifying this, see if we can do this. Negative half minus 1 is negative 1.5. Equals 11. And then I will move this over here, that way we can see it better. 9.5 minus 1.5y, I'll probably leave this video, equals 11. Now, bring this over to the other side, minus 9.5 minus 9.5, negative 1.5y equals 11 minus 9.5 is 1.5. Negative 1.5 divided by negative 1.5, y equals negative 1. Now, this is a larger one where we have b that takes up all this space. So now we have a, b, and now we need to go back to a. And we have 4x minus 1 equals 19. And our y is negative 1. Let's plug that into there. 4x minus negative 1 equals 19. For x plus 1 equals 19, minus 1, for x equals negative 9. No, 19 minus 1 is 18. And now, I'll erase this part. Hopefully you have that all written down. And then divide both these by 4. X equals 18 over 4, which can be simplified to 9 over 2. So our coordinates, which we had over here, which was actually negative 1. So this is our x, 9 over 2, and y is negative 1. So these are larger equations that we're solving now, but you should be able to use this type of setup for every one of these questions. Now we're going to go over to number 7 and 8, and that has to do with the same exact thing, so I'll show you shortly. So for number 7, it says at 6 o'clock p.m., Harold goes for his daily walk. He walks at a rate of 3 miles per hour. Irvin is 1/2 mile ahead of Harold, walking at a rate of 2 miles per hour. Their respective positions can be represented by the equations y equals 3x and y equals 2x plus 0.5 or half, where x is the time in hours and y is the distance in miles. Solve this system of equations by substitution. So let's do the same thing. Solve this one for x. Y, so I guess first things first. Those are our names for them, A and B. Solve A for x. Solve that for x, which you would just divide it by 3. So you would have x equals, what we did in one of the other ones in the new part was with this, I just wrote it as 1 over 3y, which is the same thing. So x equals 1 over 3y. Now, take b and plug this part in. B is y equals 2x plus 0.5. X goes there, so y equals 2 1/3 y plus 0.5. Y equals, now 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. 2/3 y plus 0.5. Now we need to bring this over the other side, just like a regular solving of equations. Minus 2 over 3 on both sides. 1 minus 2 over 3 is 1 over 3y equals 0.5. Now we have fractions and decimals. You can do that. If you have a calculator, you can do anything. But whatever, 1 over 3. Divide both sides by 1 over 3. 0.5 divided by 1 over 3 is 1.5. Y equals 1.1. Now, we need to go back to A. So this is step number 1, step number 2, and then step number 3. Hopefully we have enough room here. A, B, go back to A. Y equals 3x. Our y, make this look like more of a y. There we go. Y is 1.5, so 1.5 equals 3x. Now solve this, divide both sides by 3, and x equals half. in our directions, it says that x is the amount of time in hours, so this would be half an hour. And then the y is the distance in miles, so it'd be 1.5 miles. I think this will help us with number 8. Reading number 8, using the information from the previous problem, answer these questions. How many minutes does it take Harold to catch up with Irvin? How many minutes? Half an hour is 30 minutes. So for number 8a, I'll write it over here. 8a is 30 min. And then, at what time does Harold catch up with Irvin? So at number 7, it says that they left at 6 o'clock. And if it took them half an hour to catch up with Irvin, what time did Harold catch up with him then? If they left at 6 o'clock, half an hour later is 6:30 p.m. And then letter C. How far had Harold walked when he caught up with Irvin? Distance in miles is right here. How far? 1.5 miles. So with this new part, just make sure you solve A for x, and then you always use A, and then equation B, and then equation A again, and then you should be able to get your answers like that. Go ahead and finish the rest of the lesson on your own.